Hi everybody, I'm Annalisa Rockbridge. I'm going to be your yoga guide this morning. Please roll out your mats and join me for some yoga. Starting in a Sukhasana position, where your legs are crossed in front of one in front of another. I use my trusty block here to raise the floor up, supporting my knee, which is pretty bummed today. Okay, so let's start with 3 cleansing breaths. So rooting down through the sit bones, take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel how the chest rises up, and then make some noise as you open your mouth and sigh out the air. Very nice, let's do that again. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Let's build onto that by taking a deep breath in through the nose. Root down through the sit bones, spread across the collarbones, and pause at the top of your breath. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. Very nice. Let's do that again. Rooting down through the sit bones, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Rise up through the chest, pause at the top. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. Very nice. Let's add on to that by rooting down, taking a deep breath in through the nose, spreading across the chest and the collarbones, pausing at the top, maybe sipping in just a little bit more air. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. Let's do that one more time. Inhale through the nose, pause at the top, sip in just a little bit more air. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. Very nice. Let's stay in the Sukhasana position, and let's start with raising our arms in front of us. So if you need to lift your buttocks up, sit on a bolster or a blanket or sit on your block. But let's begin. I'm going to sit on my block just to raise my hips up, and then use my block for my knee. Hands are beginning on the knee, and to begin, take a nice deep breath in. Inhale, raise the arms forward and above, let the pinkies lead. As you exhale, hands come to the top, straight down the middle. Let's do that again. Inhaling, allow the arms to float forward and above, let the pinkies lead. Grow tall through the sides of the waist. As you exhale, hands come down, straight down the middle. Very nice. Let's change the interlacing of the legs, so put the left leg in front of us, and let's do that again. As we inhale, arms come out to the side, palms face up. At the top of the head, palms touch each other, and then pull straight down. Very nice. Let's do that again. Inhale, arms float to the top of our head. Pick the back of the ribs up off of the waist to grow tall, and then exhale, hands come straight down the middle. Very nice, you guys. Again, changing the crossing of the legs. A nice deep breath in, arms raised up and above our head. As you exhale, the right hand comes behind you as a kickstand. The left hand comes onto the right knee. As you inhale, find length by coming up through the top of the sternum. And then as you exhale, maybe use your left hand to rotate through the center of your body. Again, find length with each inhale. And then as we deepen the twist through the core muscle, maybe our neck is the last thing to turn as we gaze over our right shoulder. One more breath here. Never holding the breath, but finding the edge. When you're ready, as we exhale, unlet go and come back into neutral. Very nice. So let's take a deep breath in through the sides of the waist. Hands float up and above. As you exhale, left hand comes behind you as the right hand floats onto the left knee. Grow tall by pulling the shoulder heads away from each other. Spread across the chest and the collarbones. And then as you exhale, deepen a little bit more from the core. Inhale to find length through the sides of the waist, and as you exhale, maybe your gaze starts to turn past your left shoulder. One more breath here on your own. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, begin to unwind. Maybe both hands come onto the knees. Very nice. So let's come into a cat-cow position. So our hands are going to be, my knee is very, very sore, so I'm going to place a blanket under my knee for padding and support. If you need to do that, go ahead and do that now. So my feet are planted on the floor, hip distance apart, knees are at hip distance apart, stacked directly above the hips, with a long, nice, neutral spine, stacking the shoulders above the wrist. As I inhale, draw the chest and the sternum through the arms. My gaze stays at the floor as my belly drops down towards the mat and my tailbone moves up towards the sky. Cow pose. With a nice big exhale, push down into all 10 fingers to root down so that you rise up through the chest. Allow the chin to start coming in towards the chest as the belly button moves towards the spine. The tailbone draws down towards the mat. Cat pose. Continue to push down into your hands as your tailbone draws up towards the sky. Your chest and your sternum draw in through the arms, and then your gaze starts to walk up the wall in front of you. As you exhale, continue to push down into your hands to spread across your upper back, peeling the shoulder blades, the scapulas, apart from each other. Inhale for cow pose. Keep drawing the lower belly in, even though it's drooping down towards the mat. Exhale for your cat pose. Continue to articulate your spine one vertebrae at a time, inviting nice pelvic tilts anteriorly and posteriorly. Let's walk our hands forward, tuck our toes, lift the knees up, and then walk your hands back to meet your feet. There can be a nice, deep, generous bend in the knees so that the torso and the body rest on the top of the thighs. Allow your fingertips to tent next to your feet, and then begin to straighten out your legs any amount by shifting your weight forward into your toes. If you like, you can grab opposite elbows here and use your elbows as weights. When you're ready, maybe choosing to change the interlacing of the elbows, allowing the crown of the head to continue to go down towards the mat as you continue to shift the weight forward into your toes. With strong legs and a strong spine, hands come onto the hips and rise all the way up into the sky. Very nice. Let's make our way up to the top of the mat. At the top of the mat, let's root down through all four corners of our feet. So the feet can be touching with the big toes touching and a sliver of space in between the heels. If your lower back is sensitive this morning, allow your feet to be at hip distance apart. Root down through the big toe, so push down into your big toe, push down into the pinky toe, and then feel the outer edges of your heels by leaning back. Draw the inner arches up your legs by drawing the kneecaps up your legs. This is going to activate your thighs and your hamstrings. Allow the tailbone to draw down towards the mat. Pick the back of the ribs up off of the waist and draw up through the sternum. Don't allow the frontal rib points though to pop out. Draw those down towards the frontal hip points. Nice active core here. Continue to draw up through the top of the waist. Draw the shoulder heads away from the ears to make nice space through the neck. Hands can be next to the waist, palms facing forward, or they can be at the chest, thumbs in the sternum. Finding a drishti in front of you, a point that's not moving. Maybe gently closing your eyes, setting an intention for your practice, for the day, or for your weekend. Blinking your eyes open softly, let's begin to link our breath to our movement. As we inhale, arms float forward and above. Picking the back of the ribs up off of the waist. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Shift the weight forward. Rise up halfway with the long spine for Ardha Uttanasana. Keep drawing that lower belly in towards the midline. As you exhale, fold back over the legs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. Utthita Hastasana into Tadasana. As you exhale, hands float into the chest. Samastitihi. Let's do that again. As we inhale, float the arms up and above your head. Exhale, hinge over your thighs. Uttanasana. Forward fold. Shift the weight forward and then place the hands underneath the knees. Pull the shoulder heads away from the ears. Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold back over the thighs. Strong legs, strong spine, rise you back up into the sky. As you exhale, hands come into the chest. Samastitihi. Last time. As we inhale, float the arms up and above. Pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs. Straighten the legs any amount and shift forward. With an inhale, rise up halfway. Pull the sternum through the chest and the arms. Keep looking down, straight down in front of you on the mat. As you exhale, fold back over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. Maybe the palms touch at the top of the head. Maybe you look up at your thumbs. As you exhale, pull the hands straight down into the chest. Samastitihi. Let's build onto that by taking a deep breath in, floating the arms up and above. Exhale, hinging over the thighs. Uttanasana. Shifting the weight forward, pulling the sternum and the chest through the arms. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhaling, stepping the right foot back, stepping the left foot back. We're at the top of a push-up. Allow both knees to come down towards the mat. Bend the elbows halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower the body all the way down towards the mat. Untuck the knees. Fan all 10 of your toes out onto the top of the mat. And push down into the tops of your feet so much your knees lift up off the mat. Drag your hands back next to your ribs and then pull your elbows in towards each other. Push down into your hands to lift your sternum and your shoulder heads away from the mat. Bhunjanasana, baby cobra. As you exhale, forehead comes down towards the mat. Push down into your hands. Pass through a neutral tabletop position. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, pull your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Taking 2 to 3 breaths here in down dog. We have a little bit of a tight shoulder this morning. Maybe turning your hands out ever so slightly to make space in the shoulders. But try to get those triceps to move up towards the sky and the biceps to move down towards the mat. As you look back at your toes, maybe you tuck the heels behind the second toe. If the hamstrings are tight this morning, maybe we can choose to come up onto the tippy toes. Put a deep, generous bend in the knees, and then allow the tailbone to lift up towards the sky to make space in the spine. Guiding the heels back down towards the mat, they never have to meet. Looking up at your hands, the right foot steps up to the right hand, left foot steps up. Inhale for Ardha Uttanasana. Come up halfway with the long spine. As we exhale, fold back over the legs. Inhale to stand up into the sky. As we exhale, hands come into the chest. Samastitihi. Let's do Sarva Namaskar A again. As we inhale, float arms up and above. Exhale, hinge over the thighs. Uttanasana. Shift the weight forward into the toes. Rise up halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, this time the left foot steps back, then the right foot steps back, top of a push-up. Shift the weight forward into your toes, bend your elbows halfway, Chaturanga Dandasana. Flip over the tops of the feet, keep the hips, waist, and off of the mat. Pull the pubic bone forward towards the sternum. Push down into your hands so much that you have a micro bend in your elbows. Lift the sternum and the chest up towards the sky. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. As you exhale, pull your hips up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Taking 2 to 3 breaths here in this down dog, maybe recognizing the heat that we're making in our body. When you're ready, left foot steps up to the left hand, right foot steps up. Rise up halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. As you exhale, fold back over the thighs. Inhale to stand all the way up into the sky. As you exhale, hands come down into the chest, Samastitihi. Last time together. As we inhale, arms float up and above. Grow tall through the sides of the waist by picking the back of the ribs up off of the waist. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs with maybe a micro bend in the knees. Straightening out your thighs and legs, lifting up your chest halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Choosing to hop, step, or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, choosing your back bend. As you exhale, pulling the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, taking 2 to 3 breaths here in down dog, recognizing the heat that we're cultivating in our body. Looking up at your hands, choosing to hop, step, or jump to the top of your mat. With the inhale, rise up halfway with the long spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Keep drawing that lower belly in towards the midline. As you exhale, fold back over the thighs. Inhale to rise up into the sky. Palms touch the top of your head. Maybe look up at your thumbs. As you exhale, hands come into the chest, Samastitihi. Very good. So let's take a nice big wide step out to the right, and from deep within our right hip socket, we're going to externally rotate our right thigh, knee, shin, and foot out 90 degrees to the right. With our left foot, we're going to have a sharp 90-degree angle. We're going to pull our hips backwards, and with our right hand, reach forward for the wall, window, or door in front of us. Reach so far forward, our right hand lands on the right shin. Left hand floats up into the sky. Trikonasana, triangle pose. If you have a block and you want to place that behind your right ankle, that's always a nice, helpful modification. But let's find length of the sides of our waist. Pull the forehead away from the midline, and our gaze can either be up at the left hand, the corner of the ceiling, or down at your right foot. But wherever you are in this Trikonasana triangle, let's continue to pull that right hip underneath us. Spread across the chest and the collarbones, and breathe. One more breath. Strong legs, strong spine, rise us back up into the sky. Let's parallel those feet, and then turn the left foot out, drawing the right heel in at that sharp 90-degree angle. Preparing for Trikonasana on our left side. So let's pull the hips back and reach forward with our left hand. Left hand lands onto the left shin or on the block behind the left ankle. Continue to draw back through the left hip and underneath you as your right hand floats up towards the sky. Spreading across the chest and the collarbones, pulling the forehead away from the midline. Every side is going to be different, so maybe on one side you're able to touch your toes and do a yogi toe lock on that side. Maybe on one side we need to use a block. Wherever you are, honor your body today where it is, and breathe. One more breath here. Strong legs, strong spine, rises back up into the sky. You're doing wonderful. Let's parallel the feet out. Allow the heels to drop back so that your toes are pointing forward. Hands come onto the hips. Rise up to the chest, rise up to the sternum, and then when you're ready, as you exhale, hinge over your thighs. Hands can come down towards the mat.
so they stack directly underneath your shoulders. This is a beautiful place to be. At the same time, we're all going to shift our weight forward so we feel that stretch within the abductors, the inner thighs. If you are looking for a deeper stretch, start walking your hands back so that the heel of your hands and the heel of your feet line up. Continue to draw your elbows in towards each other. Draw the shoulder heads up and away from the ears as you allow the crown of your head to start to guide its way down towards the mat. Padottanasana 8. We're always looking to find our edge. But never holding our breath. Taking a nice deep breath in. Exhaling when you're ready. Again, begin to walk the hands out so they stack directly underneath your shoulders. A nice deep breath in to pull the chest through the arms. And then hands come onto the hips, rise all the way up into the sky. Very nice, you guys. So from deep within our hip socket, let's externally rotate to the right, lining up at a heel to arch alignment. The left heel is going to drop back at a 45-degree angle. Put a nice deep bend in the right knee so the right knee stacks directly above the right ankle. As your hands come out to a T and your gaze looks over the right middle finger, maybe you gaze down to make sure you can see the second toe of your right foot. If you can't see the second toe, guide your right knee towards the right pinky toe. Left hand reaches back behind you till you get a nice spread across your chest and your collarbones. Instead of leaning forward, pull your torso and your body up straight so your shoulders stack directly above your hips. Sinking just an inch lower into that right leg, breathing into your Virabhadrasana 2, your Warrior 2. One more breath here. Extend over your right thigh. Right hand comes onto the inside of your right foot. Left hand floats up into the sky. If you have your block, you're welcome to place that on the inside of your right ankle, or the forearm can come onto the right thigh. Whichever variation we're choosing to do, let's all take that left arm and sweep it past our left ear so we have a nice long line of energy running from your left toe to your left fingertips. At the same time, let's all draw that right hip underneath us and turn our belly and our chest up towards the sky. Inhale to find length by pulling the forehead away from the midline, and then exhaling to deepen the twist within the core. You're doing fantastic. One more breath here. Strong legs, strong spine, rise us back up. Let's parallel our feet back so that the heels drop back. Interlace the hands behind us. Lift up through the chest and the sternum. Take a nice deep breath here. And then when you're ready, as you exhale, fold back over your thighs. If the crown of your head easily comes down towards the mat, maybe heel toe your feet together to shorten your stance. Fold back over your thighs. Shift the weight forward into your toes so you get that nice stretch. And then if you want, put a micro bend in the elbows to lift the hands up off of the back. If the palms are not touching this morning, all that means is today we're working with tight shoulders. You can either use a belt or a strap to take your hands like this. Continuing to breathe here in this forward fold. Continue to lift the shoulder heads away from the ears. Allow the hands to come down towards the mat. Lift up halfway with the long spine. Nice deep breath in here. And then when you're ready, hands come onto the hips. Exhale as we rise up into the sky. Very nice, everybody. So let's do everything that we just did to the left side, externally rotating from our left hip socket.
So if you need to widen your stance for your Virabhadrasana 2, dropping that right leg at a 45-degree angle, putting a nice deep bend in that left knee. Hands come out to a T, and then picking your torso up off of your left thigh, spreading across the chest and the collarbones by reaching back with your right hand. Taking 3 breaths here on your own in Vira 2, trusting that you're here in your Virabhadrasana 2. When you're ready, let's extend our left hand past our left leg. Left hand reaches into the left foot, right hand comes into the sky. If your left hand is down onto the mat, push down into your left hand, push your left knee into your left shoulder, but resist your knee with your shoulder. Allow the belly and the chest to rotate towards the sky. And then as you exhale, the right arm is going to sweep past the right ear. Again, we all have different sides, and each side is going to be a little bit different. But let's take that left hip and tuck it in underneath us. Never holding our breath, but finding our edge. When you're ready, rising up with strong legs, strong spine, heel toeing the feet together, taking a nice step up to the top of the mat, meeting in Tadasana. So pushing down into your top, to your big toe, to your pinky toe, pulling your kneecaps up, drawing your tailbone down, lifting up through your chest and your sternum. As we inhale, arms float up and above. Pick the back of the ribs up off the waist. Exhale, Uttanasana. As you inhale, rise up halfway for Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale to fold back over your thighs. Right foot steps back, left foot steps back. Pull your hips up and back, downward facing dog. From this down dog, lift your right leg up straight up behind you, but don't open up that hip. So square your hips off by drawing your right pinky toe down towards the mat. As you find length with every inhale, as you exhale, the knee comes in towards your nose. Try to see if you can round out your back enough to touch your knee to your nose. Inhale to find length and sweep the leg straight up behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the right foot up to the right hand. Stay on your left toes. Rise up for Anjaneyasana, crescent pose. Draw the right hip back, guide your left hip forward. There can be a micro bend in your back knee if you need to, but pick the back of the ribs up off of the waist. Maybe your palms touch and you look up at your thumbs. Hands come down into your chest. Left elbow is going to cross over your right thigh. So you're in an Anjaneyasana prayer twist. At the same time, let's all pull that right hip back behind us. If at any time you need to drop that left knee down, pull that left knee straight back and continue to rotate your midsection up towards the sky. Continuing to breathe. Maybe you look past your right shoulder. As you exhale, hands come down towards the mat to frame the right foot. How quietly can we pick up that right foot and step it back? Choose to move it through a vinyasa or skip altogether and just meet us in downward facing dog. From down dog, step the right foot into the middle of the mat. Lift the left leg up straight up behind you. Don't open up that hip, but allow the left pinky toes to rotate down towards the mat. As you exhale, draw the knee in towards your chest and then try to touch your nose towards your knee.
Inhale to find length by taking the leg back behind you. Exhale, knee to nose. Step the left foot up to the left hand, and then rise up for Anjaneyasana, crescent pose. Drawing the left hip back and the right hip forward. Again, there can be a micro bend in the back knee if there needs to. Maybe the hands touch at the top of our head. As you pull your hands down into the middle, lean over your left thigh. Your right elbow is going to cross over your left thigh. At the same time, let's all pull that left hip back and then rotate our chest and our belly up towards the sky. Maybe our gaze is past our left shoulder. If you drop down to your knee on the other side, just make sure that you're honoring your body on both sides. When you're ready, the hands come down to frame the left foot. How quietly can we step that left foot back and move it through a vinyasa? It's always your choice. You can skip every vinyasa that we do. They're just offerings. But from this down dog, let's allow both knees to come down towards the mat. Untuck the toes and sink your hips onto your heels. Allow the forehead to come down towards the mat. Extend your arms out in front of you so that the elbows are up off of the mat. So you're in child's pose, Balasana. Taking 1 to 2 breaths here in this nice, beautiful child's pose. Sitting up on your heels, shifting onto one hip and extending the leg straight out in front of you. Allow the feet to rest onto the mat so that the knees are up into the sky. Place the hands behind the knees and lift the chest and the sternum up through the arms. So you take out any excessive rounding in the lower back. Nice deep breath here. Maybe you extend your hands out to the side. Maybe you choose to leave your hands behind your knees and lift your legs up into the sky. Whatever variation of Navasana you choose. With an inhale, exhale all of your breath here. And then as you inhale, find length by lengthening out your body for Ardha Navasana. Keep your shoulder heads lifting up off the mat. Keep your feet lifting up off the mat. As you exhale, pull your knees back into your chest for Navasana. Inhale to find length for Ardha Navasana. We're just now exhausting the core muscles that we have not used for our practice. But we're not in a race. Slow and steady so we can get the maximum use out of our core and our tummy. Inhale to lower. Exhale to rise up. Ooh, okay. Allow both feet to come back down towards the mat. Lower your entire body down towards the mat. Stack your feet so that the ankles are underneath the knees. Keep the feet at hip distance apart, so open or widen your feet if you need to. Place the hands next to the hips. Anchor down into your hands and your feet so much that you can lift your pelvis and your spine up off the floor. This is Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. We're not worried too much about alignment poses right now. We just want to feel this bridge. And as you exhale, begin to lower your body down towards the mat, articulating your spine one vertebrae at a time. So adjusting your feet if you need to, keeping them at hip distance apart, stacking the ankles underneath the knees. Maybe this time we're choosing to either grab the edges of our mat, or when we anchor down into our feet, we can lift our hips up into the sky, tuck our right and our left shoulder underneath us, push down into the hands so much that the chest and the collarbones are spreading. Continue to lift up to the frontal hip points. When you're ready, allowing yourself to lower down. Preparing your body for the last bridge pose. If you have a block and you want to do a restorative bridge, place the block underneath your sacrum and then allow your body to, your pelvis to rest on the block. But whenever you're ready, push down into your feet. If you're choosing to interlace your hands underneath you, roll the left and then the right shoulder under. Continuing to breathe and sit to Bandha Sarvangasana. Noticing how maybe your mind's starting to wander as your body cools down. It's completely normal. When you're ready, coming up off of the block, if that's where you are for this last pose. Maybe coming down onto your wrists, giving yourself a small massage onto your wrists. Allowing both knees to draw into the chest. Interlace your hands around your knees to give yourself a little lower lumbar massage by rocking side to side. Extend your hands straight out to the side, palms facing down. If you don't have the room next to you, cactus your arms or goalpost your arms so the palms are facing up. And then allow your knees to draw over to the right side of the body. As you inhale, keep the left shoulder and scapula in contact with the mat. Find length, breathe into the left side of your ribs. As you exhale, the right hand comes onto the left knee, and then maybe the gaze starts to turn over towards the left hand. Continue to find length with every breath, every inhale. Maybe using the hand to deepen the twist from within the midsection. When you're ready, drawing the knees back up into the sky. As you exhale, draw your left hip underneath the right and then drop your knees over to the left side. Breathing into the nice ribs on the right side of your body, taking a deep breath in here. As we exhale, left hand comes onto the right knee. Maybe our gaze turns over towards the right hand. As you inhale, draw your knees back up into center, giving yourself another nice little hug, rocking and rolling up the length of your spine for a seated position. Allow the feet to extend straight out in front of you. Dorsal flex your feet so that the toes point towards your face. Allow your hands to rest next to your waist and then push down into your hands so much that it lifts your chest and your sternum up. Gaze is straight in front of you. Dandasana. With an inhale, allow the arms to float up and above your head. Find length at the sides of the waist. As you exhale, hinge over your thighs and grab onto either your shins, your mat, or interlace your hands around your feet. finding length with every inhale. As you exhale, draw your hips back and your forehead down towards your head, towards your shins. Paschimottanasana fold. Inhale to find length through all sides of the waist and come up halfway. As you exhale, let go of whatever it is you're holding on to. As you inhale, draw your right foot in towards your midline and then place your right foot against your left thigh. Allow the right knee to come down towards the mat. If you need a little support, go ahead and place your block or pillow underneath that. With an inhale, draw up to the sides of your waist. Hands flow up and above your body. As you exhale, turn your torso ever so slightly towards your left thigh and then hinge over your left leg. Interlacing or choosing to grab onto your leg, the mat, or your foot. Allow the forehead and the nose to drop down towards the knee. Inhale to draw up halfway with a long spine. As you exhale, let go of whatever you're holding on to. Extend both the legs out in front of you. Give them a little shake. As you inhale, draw the left foot in towards the right thigh. Push your right foot against your left foot against your right thigh. Inhale, lift the arms up and above your head. Exhale, rotate your torso ever so slightly towards the right thigh. As you exhale, hinge over the thigh. Interlacing and choosing what you want to hold on to here. Continue to draw that right hip back towards the back of the mat or the wall. As you inhale, lift up to the chest and the sternum. Exhale to let go of whatever you're holding on to. Extend both feet out in front of you and then come back onto your backs again. Allow the feet to rest onto the mat so the knees are up into the sky. With an inhale, lift your right foot and cross your right ankle over your left knee. This is a great, beautiful place to be for a sensation and a stretch in your right hip. Maybe place your hands onto the top of your thighs and gently press onto them. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, keep your head, shoulders, and back on the mat. As you inhale, lift your left knee towards your chest. Keep laying on the floor and interlace your hands either around your left shin or behind your left knee. If at any time you had to get up to reach for this pose, let go of whatever it is you were holding on to, including the ego. Lay back down and then choose to interlace behind the knee. If that changed the sensation, extend your right elbow onto your right knee, flex that right foot, and then shift the weight over onto the left hip. You should feel it again in the right iliopsoas, the right gluteus maximus. Taking a nice deep breath here, finding length at all times. The mind begins to wander to a memory or a plan that's completely natural and normal. Honor your thoughts, but recognize it's moved away from your breath. When you exhale, let go of the left leg. Extend both of the feet onto the mat, enjoying a nice neutral pelvis. Press onto the top of your thighs to make length in this back lumbar area. With an inhale, draw your left ankle over your right knee. If you're looking for a deeper stretch, draw that right knee in towards the chest and choose to interlace either around the knee or behind the knee. Everybody at the same time, let's flex our left foot. Maybe we chose to extend the elbow last time to the knee. Maybe we chose to shift the weight over to the right hip. Taking 2 deep breaths here on this left side as your body is completely cooled down and the mind and the thoughts begin to inundate your time. One more breath here on your own. And when you're ready, as you exhale, let go of the right leg, let go of whatever you're holding on to, and extend both legs straight out in front of you. Coming into our final asana of the day, our final pose of the day, Shavasana. Allowing the legs to extend straight out in front of you. Allow the right foot to naturally roll out to the right, and allow the left foot to naturally roll out to the left. As the hands rest next to your waists, let the palms face up towards the sky. Together, let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Feel how the chest rises up towards the sky. Open your mouth and sigh it out, let it go. Shavasana, our final resting pose of the day. This is the pose we want to master. This is where we want to really get good at. So as we bring our attention over towards the middle of our eyebrows, take a nice deep breath in and imagine a nice white light coming through the center of your forehead. As you exhale, you can still see that white light getting a little bit brighter. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it go. Breathing in, feeling how that light travels into the throat. Bringing your awareness and your attention to the neck as you exhale. Let's draw our attention to the right side of our body, to the right shoulder. Let's take a deep breath into the right elbow. Exhale through the right wrist. Inhale for the right hand. Exhaling, feeling each finger and each fingertip. With each deep breath in, feeling the skin around the right hand. As you exhale, bring your attention over to the right rib cage. As you inhale, feeling how the chest rises up towards the sky. And then as you exhale, how the right solar plexus starts to lower in towards the spine. With each deep breath in, the lower solar plexus, the lower belly starts to rise up. And then as you exhale, the belly shrinks and gets smaller every time. Breathing into your right hip and your right leg. Exhaling through the right knee and the right ankle. Taking a deep breath, feeling the skin around the right foot. As you breathe in, recognizing the toes, the toenails on the right foot. Feeling the skin on the sole of the right foot. Let's take a deep breath into the entire right side of our body. Open mouth and sigh it all out. Maybe you can feel a difference, an unevenness. So let's bring our attention over to the left shoulder, the left elbow, and the left wrist. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your attention to the left skin around the left hand, the left fingers and the left fingernails. Breathing into the left shoulder. As we exhale, maybe feeling how the heart beats against the left rib cage of our left chest. As you breathe in, feeling the left solar plexus, the left stomach rise up into the sky. And then with every exhale, how the stomach shrinks and gets a little bit smaller. Breathing into the left hip and the left leg. As you exhale into the left knee and the left ankle, bringing our awareness to the right and the left foot. Breathing in, recognizing the skin around the left foot as you exhale from the left sole, the left foot. As you take a nice deep breath in, recognizing the left toes and the left toenails. As we collectively take a deep breath into the left side of our body. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. Feeling the difference now as our body is in complete rest. Deep breath in through the nose. Open mouth, sigh, exhale, let it all go. Choosing to roll over to your favorite side, allowing the hand to get heavy and resting on the floor. Choosing to push down into Mother Earth and rise up into Father Sky. Allowing the left shin to cross in front of the right. The chin can rest gently into the chest as the hands rest either on the thighs or the knees. Just stopping for a moment to recognize the work that you've done on the mat today. The hardest part was showing up, and you've already done that. The highest light in me sees and honors the highest light in all of you. Ahiahe. Thank you for joining me this morning for some yoga. I took last week off, trying to navigate the world, I guess, as an adult. So I should be getting my knee fixed hopefully by the end of next month. And we'll be going into a little bit more deeper practices. But for now, I still want to stay agile and keep practicing. So we will. Let's see. If you don't have blocks, I always recommend grabbing some blocks. A lot of studios are selling their stuff now. There's TJ Maxx. There's all these places that you can purchase these things from. So I definitely recommend getting some blocks. Like I've mentioned before, TJ Maxx had Manduka Pro Mats for they said $10, $12. I'm still on the hunt for my unicorn. What else? Drink lots of water. It's really warm these past couple of days. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Yay. All right. Have a good night. Talk to you later.